All right, the audio is good and we are good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the commentary booth of 6WC. You are watching another Project Hexagon production. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gami Crayola. Joining me in the VC is Mirage the Dragonfire. You know what you guys are here for. It is the round of 16 Mappool showcase. We have a new face in the commentary booth. Dragonfire, would you like to introduce yourself to the stream?
Hi, Dragonfire, resident UKD ranker. Looking forward to this pool showcase, honestly. Got a banger of a pool here, so hopefully it all goes well.
Yeah, I really hope so as well. Again, this is round of 16. We're going slightly up in SR. We're gonna have a pool SR 5.1, so maps should hopefully be slightly harder than last round, while obviously still being easier than whatever we had in qualifiers. But I think we shouldn't dilly-dally too long around here, so
Yeah, that's right, Mirage. We're gonna jump straight into our No More One. Have you ever been, you've been playing these two pools with like, exotic No More One. So, this week we decided to take a step back for the chill ones. Ladies and gentlemen, you probably know this song. It's going to be Allier Impulse, certified banger No More One.
Okay, for this week's number one, as mentioned already, it's pretty chill. We have some aim consistency number one this week, and yay! Finally something normal. And in fact, I would say this is probably the most normal map pool in maybe this tournament. We'll see about that for later future. But anyways, number one, 193 BPM, so like pretty comfortable for most players. CS 3.9, AR9, OD8, about 3 minutes long. It's not excessively long. Surely 3 minutes is not that bad. And it's about 5.1 SR, which matches the pool SR obviously. But yeah, just pretty comfortable in consistency. Maybe Dragonfire can tell you more about this.
Honestly, when it comes to this map, a lot of the difficulty is just focused on some of these slightly harder jump patterns in the Ki. And outside of that, it's just very comfortable all around, as has already been said. And it really is just a very standard No Mod 1. It's going to be testing your aim consistency. And I won't be surprised if we see a fair number of FCs on this map.
Yeah, that's right. And hopefully this week, we won't have any complaints about the song. I mean, despite Allier Impulse, there's a very popular set by, I can't quite put my finger on who, but this map, I believe Mirage has been pulled 0 times in tournament. This has never been seen before, if I'm not mistaken.
Not this diff, but I think the higher diff has been pulled, I think. But yeah.
Right.
At least according to this diff and DTX, this one has not been pulled yet. And yeah, as you can see, as we're getting into the Ki, the jumps are significantly bigger. Yes, there are still 5 node bursts, but like they're obviously not the hard part. So.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a consistency map. This map clocks in at about 3 minutes long, so it's as bog standard of a No Mod 1 as it gets.
Like, there really isn't much that can be added beyond what's already been said. Like, it is just very comfortable, and
right.
Even like this slow section here, like, I don't imagine we'll see any misses on the slow sections of this map. I mean, we might, but
honestly, my CDC forecasting with this map, bro. There's nothing much to talk about. My CDC forecasting with this map.
I mean, it's number one. It's pretty basic, but that's okay, I think, especially coming off of last round, having awkward aim and that very peculiar song that everyone likes about something going up and up and up and up and and
very peculiar song, TM.
It's okay, I'm sure no one will hate this song at least this week, surely. Yeah, we're getting to the end of No 1 very soon. Shoutouts to our replayer, Louis Marble, great replay, and they definitely FC this map. You can take my word for it.
There's no way, there's no way.
There's no way, I mean, it's a consistency map. Who's gonna break on consistency?
This is a 5-digit, this is a 5-digit mouse player.
Yeah,
like,
come on, this is 5-digit.
He's an SS farmer. Like, there's no way this guy fights with this, right?
Used to believe.
There's no way he fights with this, right? But yeah, Louis I can't say that on stream. Marble aside, let's move on to our next map. So keeping in the trend of familiarity, I mean, we're going for one for one. If you know customs are the epitome of like never before seen shit, we are like on the other end of the spectrum because No More 2, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna be hewn infinity heaven.
Well, okay, everyone. I'll leave one of the most important facts about this map later for Dragonfire's part, but yes, this week we have Infinity Heaven. Funny enough, this set has actually never been used before. It has like 8 uses at total, so you can blame me for using this familiar song, but you cannot blame me for using the map that has not been pulled before. So anyways, 160 BPM, CS4, AR9, OD 8.2. It's only 2 minutes. But this week, compared to last week, will be significantly more on the flowy side of things. Well, yeah, it's definitely more flow, because like Ascension Dragon has those bursts were basically 0 flow. So it does start off pretty slowly with some like aim sections, but come on. Give me a slight break. There will be streams, obviously, and yes, we get into more streaming sections.
Oh, streams!
Crazy.
Stream! Oh my god, it's
Streams.
streams!
Streams!
They put streams in my stream map? What?
Actually crazy, but yeah, this will be slightly of a whiplash considering we're going from like 200 BPM to 160s, but anyways, Dragonfire.
Yeah, last week we were ascending to heaven, and now we're in infinity heaven.
Oh,
This is your number 2 for this week, and honestly, I like this map a lot. What I can say is I don't know if everyone's going to be comfortable tapping this BPM, because it is 160, which is a lot slower than players are used to. All players used to maybe like 180-ish. Like even 170 could be considered low for some people. So going all the way down to 160, it might be rough. And especially in this final Ki, where you have streams that are longer than you'd normally see at this star rating. Coming into 16, 24, the flow focus really is going to hit here. And hopefully it doesn't trip anyone up too badly.
Yeah, but at the same time, right, Dragon, the lower BPM might prove to be it might prove for this map to be a bit more accessible to the general player base. I think the 200 BPM that we saw from last week's No More 2 definitely ate some speed cap players up, cough cough myself, but at least if you are, you know, weaker on tapping, weaker on your mechanics, this is a good opportunity to let your at least flow aim skill or your right-handed skill take precedent in a map like this. But that is going to be infinity heaven. You can riot in the pool feedbacks, but hey, at least it's not Lionheart like we saw last week. But with that said, I mean, let's move on to our No More 3. This is a special No More 3. You might know the mapper that we have for this No More 3. It's going to be Nomi Nomu, a very, very special mapper in the 6-digit scene and very well known for her incredible work on, you know, alt maps, control maps, and all sorts of 6-digit customs throughout the years. This time, she has very kindly provided us a No More 3 for us to use in our round of 16 pool. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Harumaki Gohan Fit featuring Hatsune Miku Saikai.
Oh my god, it's Miku, everyone. Where are the Vocaloid
Miku.
fans?
Isn't that like the one girl they made like a movie about or something?
I think so.
What?
But...
Oh, yeah, it's true. I can't believe they added Hatsune Miku to the cinemas.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about a little bit of the map. Obviously, it's a custom with a custom art as well. Thank you to Perry Crayola for the incredible background for this map of yours. And now, the map is obviously alt, wow, shocking, my number 3 is alt. 3 minutes 30 seconds long, 137 BPM, CS 3.7, AR 9.2, OD 8.2, it's about 4 stars, 4.8 obviously. And this week's No More 3 will be slightly of a mixed alt type of map. There will be some sections with snap, but I think 60% of it will be more flow focused as we get into the first Ki right away. As you can see, we already have some like actual alt flow patterns coming in here. They're pretty comfortable to hit because the flow is pretty consistent for the most part. But yeah, that will be actually our first custom reveal for this round of 16.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, generally, the Kiais in this map feel very satisfying to play with the mix of snap and flow that they have. Generally, mixed ult as a skill set, I tend to find feels very aim-focused. And yet, this map manages to just avoid that and doesn't feel like that, which I honestly really like. It is just a good test of both snap and flow equally.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's definitely what you want to see from a No Mod 3 slot like this. I mean, the past No Mod 3s, the No Mod 3 that we saw from round of 32 was also pretty consistency heavy. So this map sort of falls into that trend of, you know, 3 minute 30 second ish long maps that are mostly going to be your consistency check. And I think like last week, right? It's definitely going to be interesting seeing players perform on a map like this, because ult is not the most, I mean, comfortable skill set when it comes to being consistent at least. And, you know, when you're doing that for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, it definitely proves to be quite a bit of a challenge, especially as we get into you know, this last KI, I believe, in the last third of the map. A lot of flow requirements, a lot of awkward jumps here and there. But at the end of the day, these 4-node, quote-unquote, these 4-node burst patterns can definitely trip you up. Or, you know, the entire map is honestly very, very volatile, even in the slower sections. There you can find some element of flow, you can find some element of snap aim. But yeah, would like to shout out Ash Bradley for the lovely replay. Brazil 6WC2025, you know, your ex-winner, as well as Perry Criolla for the background. I would love to have her join the VC right now to give you guys the scoop. I believe there is actually lore when it comes to the character that you see on the left of your screen. I'm not the most familiar with it, but it's supposed to be the same girl from the EQX tiebreaker, if any of you guys remember it from back then.
Wait, as in like from Viola's Destiny?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
okay.
a girl?
Wow.
Those two players went the concept of women. Wait, I didn't know. I was only familiar with like the background of it.
Like you thought it was just a wing and there was no one else there.
Wait, is someone there? Wait, I'm pulling up the map.
Anyways.
Oh man. Anyways.
Oh my God, person.
Moving away from GG Art and GG CDC Law, let's move along to our No Mod 4. Now, this time, you know, we have a bit of mixed tech. It has been slider tech into slider tech, so we're gonna give you something different this week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Maelstrom by Drumstep 4.
Oh my god, everyone, this is my favorite map in the entire pool, and like I will not stop glazing it. This is a really fun tech map for this week. It's sort of a mixed tech, although I will say it's slightly more lenient on the tapping side of things. Tapping slash control. It is 2 minutes long, pretty short. 180 ppm, CS4, AR9, OD8, 5 stars, which it's fine for tapping tech or like more tapping oriented techs. But this map actually has some reading elements as well as soon as we get to the first KI, which should be pretty soon. This is a tech with a little bit of sprinkle in terms of reading. It's definitely not side read friendly, but trust me, it is incredibly fun to play, and song is just honestly a real banger for me at least. So.
Yeah, I mean, as we get into the first gear here, you are going to see some slight elements of the density reading coming in, as well as just a few kind of awkward rhythms here and there. This map plays like mech tech, but also it just has a fair helping of finger control to go alongside it. So it certainly isn't that comfortable. On the aim side, it's not too tricky if you can read it. But on the tapping side, definitely be paying attention to the more rhythmic patterns.
Yeah, that's right, and I like to tap on what you said about finger control, right? This tech map, or this No Mod 4, also presents a bit of a challenge in the slider lengths, you know? Being able to read these sliders, being able to hold for varying amounts of time could definitely prove to be a challenge on a map where it's already so dense with the tapping. The sliders just add that as the added element of difficulty. I mean, as you get into the last quarter of the map, you're gonna see more of the sliders come in. You're gonna see more movement coming in from the sliders, but the density element, I think, is the most pronounced in this last section. Almost a bit reading heavy.
Yep, it is. It does have a bit of reading elements, as mentioned, some with the patterns and some with the density overall. It's definitely not a side read friendly map. Again, please do not side read this one out of all the maps, or you know, don't side read at all, please.
That's true. But yeah, with that, we come to the end of Maelstrom. Huge shoutouts to Arctis, my Pookie, for the replay. So sorry for putting on you on No Mod 4 actually. But let's move on to our next map. So this one was Mirage's favorite map. Now this No Mod 5 is my favorite map. You might know this from a few places, Twilight Tournament 4 or whatnot. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Amataru by Nakiso featuring Kai Yuki. This is the gimmick map of all time.
Okay, everyone. Obviously, every 6WC needs to have one song from Nakiso. I think last year we had one as well. I think it was like group stage, if I remember correctly, No Mod 6 or something. Yeah. Anyways, getting into the map a little bit. 2 minutes long, very short. What's 155 BPM? Obviously, that's probably not quite true. It's probably double timed. CS3, so pretty big circles. AR8. It might look like it's it might sound like it's a reading map, but there's no actual reading pattern. Just a low AR, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. OD 7.5, and the theme of this week's gimmick map will be kind of like a more aim-focused rhythm map, I guess, so to say. There is barely any tapping. Actually, I don't even know if there's any bursts per se. Everything is single tappable in this map, so.
I mean, rhythm is tapping. Thoughts, chat.
I guess, but.
I mean, it depends on how dense the rhythm is at that point, right?
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know about your thoughts about it during fire.
Yeah, honestly, when it comes to this map, practice is king. I would not recommend sight reading this at all because it is so easy for the 1/3s to catch you off guard. Yes, they're indicated by the changing combo colors, but they're still very easy to misread, and I know I for sure have misread them a couple times.
Yeah, this map definitely benefits those who practice. There are a lot of funky rhythm changes that, you know, the first few times I played this map, I had to go into the editor. I had to like learn the rhythm. And for what it's worth, this map is honestly pretty simple once you get the hang of it. But being able to feel the flow of the map, I think, is going to be that initial limiting factor to your score. Yeah, as you come to the end, huge shoutouts to myself for being an epic replayer. Look at that, 99% act. You love to see it. Not washed. Totally legitimate replay. Yup. Anyways, let's move on to our next map in the pool. I believe this is the first non-flowing hidden one that we've had. You guys can be safe. The next year can stop sending us pipe bombs in the mail. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to No Love in LA by Palais Royale.
Oh man, I'm not allowed to have fun anymore. You know, everyone, flow in HD1, if it wasn't obviously already, is one of my favorite skill sets and one of my best skill sets, of course. And obviously, I wanted to show everyone how much fun it is. But this week we gotta settle with something else. All right, jokes aside.
Oh man.
This week we have No Love in LA, a slider aim focused map. 3 minutes long, 103 BPM. That's probably doubled. CS 4.1, AR 9.3, OD8, about 4.9 stars. And the name of the game will be obviously sliders. There is some slight awkward aim as well, but that is not the real focus here. Hacking these sliders will be the main goal here. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, if No Mod 4 was Mirage's favorite map and No Mod 5 was Gam's, this is mine! Unironically, this is mine! I really like this map. It just feels very nice to play overall. And as I mentioned previously, a lot of the difficulty comes from the rather awkward snaps that you'll be seeing as you try to keep your accuracy intact by not dropping any of these slider ends. Because it's very easy to do that by accident. But yeah, overall, I just like this map a lot, and the song is so good.
Yeah, very rightfully said, Dragon. I think a lot of this a lot of this map can be cheese. Like, if you're just not aiming the sliders, this map honestly is not the snappiest thing in the world. But if you're looking at like what our replayer Wheelsmash is doing, there's a lot of harsh, strict snap aim that you need to do in order to keep your accuracy. And under nerves, under hidden, under the pressure of like the uncertainty of hidden, this map could prove to be quite a bit of a challenge when it comes to the, both accuracy or combo department. And if you're not comfortable on hidden, it might even lead to a tit for tat situation where, you can only have one. You need to sacrifice the other. And there are 100% going to be people breaking on these slow sliders. Holy crap.
Yeah, definitely. Overall, I would say this might be more comfortable than last week's hidden one for some people, because like it's it's first of all it's more aim focused, like it's more generic, and second of all it's not flow. Some people I know struggle with that. Also, the BPM last week was like not very comfortable for most people, so we'll see how this week goes in terms of performance result. It might be more comfortable stuff for most people, but I think there will also be people who will struggle on this map a lot. So
yeah, I mean, I absolutely would not consider this more comfortable than last week, but I think that's because once again it is more on the aim side.
Aim, though, bro.
I can't aim. I can't fucking aim. My ass cannot aim.
Sit down.
I am actually. Thank you very much.
Stand up, bro. Stand up.
Okay.
I did. Oh. Anyways, with the end of Hidden 1 and Dragonfire standing up now, GG. Let's take a ride into our Hidden 2. This time, we decided to take a step back from harsh overlap reading, and we instead bring density reading to the table. Ladies and gentlemen, from Project Locus, the OSU beat map competition with a lot of different beat mappers and graphics creators or some stuff. It's gonna be Rio no Maidro one hit. Let's jump straight into it.
unfortunately, it's not forehead. Anyways, that's a terrible joke. Anyways, this week's Hidden 2 will not be stack reading, will not be perfect stacks. I know some people have been complaining about, hey, we had 2 perfect stack reading maps now in a row already. Can we have something else for once? And yes, we can actually. This week's Hidden 2 will be obviously AR8 at 153 BPM, so this is definitely on the slower side of things. Only 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You won't have to suffer for long if you're not a H2 player. Actually, if you're not a H2 player, why are you playing this for your team?
That's true.
CS 4.2 and OD 7.5. And as mentioned already, this is the second map that is actually from the Locust project. If you haven't guessed it already, I've become a huge fan of what they're doing over there. There's a lot of great maps, and I will not sugarcoat it. There's a lot of good stuff there. But yeah, this week we'll be testing you more on the flow/density reading. A little bit of back and forth. There's still reading elements, even if it's not perfect stacks. But I think we can get more information about the replayer himself. Themself. My
Do
bad.
they know? It's fine. You're not Gamma. I don't have accounted for you.
Oh yay!
Wait, what?
But yeah, no, this map is generally just a pretty solid test of your flow when it comes to hidden. It's quite tapping heavy, has a few awkward back and forths, and when it comes to those back and forths, I think it is very easy to break on the buzz sliders. I did that like a couple times when I was going for this replay, actually.
Okay.
Those buzz sliders are actually impossible.
They stay still holding an SS on the map, right, Dragon? We get it.
I'm not a hidden player. I'm not a hidden player.
If anything, this map sort of reminds me of what we saw from Jackie's Hidden 2 custom from 6WC2025, 2024, where the flow aim requirement becomes the predominant factor in the map. The spacing is not too big, but when it's AR8, your judgment of the map becomes a lot more muddled. And I mean, this map acts as a good foil to the very bog standard, well, somewhat bog standard aim that we have in Hidden 1. This map sort of fills in the flow aim slot on the hidden side.
See everyone? I told you I got.
Couldn't pull flow aim and hit him once.
See, I told you I got somewhere flow. I got flow somewhere in my hands.
Yeah. Also, something I just want to very briefly mention: this map is like impossible to hack. Thank God it's only OD 7.5.
Shut up, shut
If
up.
this map wasn't OD 7.5, I think I would just die.
Guys, this map is impossible to act. This map is impossible to act. He's fuck.
I'm so glad it's OD 7.5. Please save me, OD 7.5.
Okay, but anyways, Flo, I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it. You know, we don't have a Lionheart this full, but like honestly, this is even better. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rise of the Chaos Wizards Glory Hammer Hard Rock 1. I mean, what are we even doing?
Oh my god, everyone.
Rage bait. This is rage bait. This is rage bait.
You guys want karaoke?
This is slight rage bait for sure. Anyways, everyone, I'm sure you... Actually, I don't even know if people here are old enough to remember the days where No More 2 was always Rise of the Chaos Wizard. I don't feel like people are old enough here, but anyways, Rise of the Chaos Wizard used to be a really popular No More 2 song. Not this map set. This map set has not been really used before. But yeah, we'll see some streams this week for Hard Rock 1, that's right. 180 BPM, so if you're not comfortable with Infinity Heaven's 160 BPM, you have a fine alternative here in 180 BPM Hard Rock. You know, you just need to know how to play Hard Rock, of course. 3 minutes 50 seconds. This is the longest map so far, and I think actually the longest map in the pool in general. We have pretty short maps so far. Like we've been, like stream has been going on for a while now, but it's only been like we're already more than halfway through. So we've had a lot shorter maps. It's time for a long map. And as with the Hard Rock Classics, it's AR10, OE10. CS is a little bit more on the generous side, 4.8. And yes, this should be more of a tapping mechanics type of like Hard Rock 1s, testing you on like streams and like the usual Hard Rock consistency.
It's not tech this time.
Woo!
Yeah, no, I don't really think I have much to add to this beyond what's already been said.
GG
It is GG podcast time. But no, it really is just, it's a fairly standard Hard Rock 1 outside of the Kiais, I would say. Because in the Kiais, you do have that standard aim with bursts flow, and then it's just once you get to the Kiais, stream jump scare.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, throughout the off KIs of this map is honestly very, very... I wouldn't say calm, but it's very simple on the tapping end and on the aim end as well. But when the KIs come in, they just give you harsh whiplash with those like 11 note bursts, 11 note screams here and there. And you know, that might prove to be a challenge for some of the players. And I think, especially given how Hard Rock Screams is not a very common skill set tested in 6-digit, that might sort of be a limiting factor for some of our players. You know, if the hidden ones have been inaccessible, I mean, this Hard Rock 1 takes the spot. I think the OD10 on this map is gonna make hacking this map a lot more difficult, especially given the AR benchmark not being met by a lot of 6-digit players. Or it's uncommon to see players who can consistently act AR10 to begin with. So yeah, there's nothing much for me to add. Huge shoutouts to Caveman for digging through the trenches for this replay. Hi, Caveman.
But
Hi,
yeah,
Caveman.
there's no more. This Hard Rock 1 actually originally used to be our round of 32 No More 2. Yep, that's right. We considered this for round of 32 No More 2. So our discussions in the polling was like, okay, do we want SpongeBob in No More 2 or do we want Mordekaiser from League of Legends as our No More 2? I kid you not. If I wish I had that recorded, that was literally the discussion. Obviously though, this map does feel a little bit more on the softer side when it comes to like streams compared to the Ascension to Heaven map. So we decided like, wait, but what if we're cooking and like we add this as a Hard Rock 1 next week? And like, oh yeah, so we can have SpongeBob and Mordekaiser in the 6WC. So like, that's perfect.
What if we're really locked in and we can do whatever we want with the pool?
Well, jokes aside, it might be more of a joke between SpongeBob and Mordekaiser, but the map is pretty fun and like it does test you on like proper skill sets.
And it's
so
a banger, and it's a banger.
So it's not like all just funsies and haha, we're doing funny stuff here. So yeah, take it away, Gammy.
Yeah, but let's move on to the next map that we have in the pool. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Carrying Dance by Neko Mata Master. It's gonna be high BPM precision aim. Let's go.
Yay! It's a Necromata Master map, and this one, I do admit, has been used fairly decent amount in the past. I actually don't know what the most recent one is, but yeah, it's a pretty standard Hard Rock 2 aim, obviously, since since the Hard Rock one was already pretty tapping heavy, but it's a high BPM, it's like 101. Obviously, you have to double that, so it's like 200 something probably. I'm not a musician, so I don't know the details, but the classics, CS 6.5, as you would expect from the precision map. It is finally AR8, AR8. It's finally AR10, so people can't stop asking me about why Hard Rock 2 is only 9.8. OD 9.8, oh no, it's not AR10, it's not OD10, my bad. And it's about only 2 minutes, so it's definitely on the shorter side of things.
It's not OD 10, I'm gonna riot. Holy crap.
Yeah, I hope people ride for this OD. Anyways, Dragon Fire. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think one of the main things about this Hard Rock 2 as well is you have perfect stacks on CS 6.5, which is honestly not the easiest to read and can definitely throw some people off. But I think outside of that, it is just pretty standard aim. It's a little bit ulty, but really that shouldn't be too off-putting, given when it comes down to it, as you can see. The main thing this is testing is your ability to aim at this circle size.
Yeah, and I'd like to reiterate, the high BPM element of this map. Despite this map coming in at, 101, it is mapped the 202, basically 202 jumps. So at the end of the day, your comfort on CS 6.5 and AR10 is going to be very demanding on this map. And it's honestly a comfort check on precision, and a very good one at that. But with that, huge shout out to Tech Drive for the replay. I love my statistician. Oh, hopefully the stats are out. Anyways, stats complaining aside, let's move into our least favorite mod slot of this full. Let's jump straight into DT1. And, last time we got Cardi B, this time we got Lady Gaga. Welcome to Applause, DT1.
This is, I think, if I remember correctly, Philoxen's favorite map of the pool, so like, yeah. Anyways, this week's DT1, 210 BPM, so on the lower side of things. CS4 AR 9.7, so it's actually not AR10, we're going down from ARs. Thank God, because the map would be too hard otherwise. 2 minutes long, and 5.1 in terms of SR. This week's DT1 is actually rather hard to aim. This is an old linear type of DT1 map, so you can expect some awkward aim here and there, and some like repeating patterns. Well, like how do you call that? Symmetric patterns. Yes. And yeah, honestly, I don't have too much to say about this DT1 because it's an old map, so.
Yeah, a lot of the patterns are just like very slightly uncomfortable to aim. And I can imagine that maybe taking a toll on some players, as generally I don't think you see this style of map in DT1 like often at all.
Yeah, this
but I do think it definitely
DT4
was.
slot, right, Dragon? You usually see these old maps in DT4 as flow, but like this time it's aim.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that pattern.
Oh my god, how am I gonna...
circle.
Who's gonna hit that?
That is a pattern.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that pattern. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's difficult. I don't really know what they were doing in 2020. Is this 2012? Is this a 2012 map? Am I right? Wait, pause chat. I am. No, 2013. My bad. Don't know what they were cooking in 2013, but I mean, it must have been a storm. Huge shoutouts to Managers for the replay. I believe this is like a 1/100 or something. Managers from the Japanese roster of 6WC2025. Very, very strong aim player. Glad to have him on this replay. But yeah, as you can see, as you get into the KI, there are like 2 disc spikes in this map, which come in the form of these really wide angle circular aim jumps, which I definitely think is gonna make watching this map very, very interesting. But yeah, that is your token interesting 1-slot map this full. And with that, let's move along to another, GG, where's my speed? But this one, if you thought Hammer Farm was rage bait, you're not ready for this one.
Oh man.
Let's go into split X. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Let's just go.
Man.
Let's just go.
Oh man, what is Fallocan cooking? Anyways, everyone, we have Infinity Heaven, we have Rise of the Chaos Wizard, and of course we gotta round it up with Split X. That's also the reason why I chose Lionheart as the intro song. That's literally the reason why I chose Lionheart as the intro song. But yes, this week's Split X, woo! I've never seen this map set in my entire life before.
Hey,
Hey, if there's anyone out there that actually loves No More 3 songs in general, I think you have the best week of your life for this pool. But
True.
let's talk about the map a little bit. 2 minutes long, 255 BPM, so slightly slower than last week, but like, ain't no big deal. CS 3.8, AR 9.7, OD 8.8 after DT, obviously, this is standard stuff. And it still tests you on speed as it should, and well, it's good EX. We probably actually played the higher diff of this, but never the hard diff, I assume. But
yeah, like people, the higher diff has such bad rep from being overpulled that this diff was just never pulled.
It's wild, actually, because I'm so used to seeing the hyper diff in like every 5.8 star pool ever, and then this diff just comes in here with apparently less than 50 uses.
Yeah, no. So I don't want to hear no. We're still gonna hear overpull
We're
complaints.
gonna hear it, yeah.
We're gonna hear it. Like it's not even we're gonna sugar. But huge shouts to Aru Ota for the replay. You know, Aru Ota is closest mapping buddy from the round of 32 tiebreaker. Which, by the way, Jesus Christ, guys, can you give us some closer matches? Like I'm starving out here.
Nobody played that TV, you know, it's so sad because it's such a good TV.
But anyways,
Hey,
folding aside, 255 BPM map, definitely going to be quite a bit of a speed test, albeit, you know, despite this map having a lot of bus sliders, a lot of kick sliders. At the end of the day, there are still these 5-note, 3-note, 255 BPM bursts that might prove to be a challenge for some of our players. But let's move on to our next map. This is another familiar tune, although I don't think I've seen it played in tournaments, or at least this diff being played in tournaments very much. You know, keeping in our J-pop No More 3 hard diffs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tarakoe Hitotsu by Rikuda Nashi.
yeah, this week.
Banger!
Oh, okay. Actually, I don't think I ever properly listened to the song before, but yeah. This week's DT3 will be a rather short map. Only 144 minutes. Oh, well, 1 minute and 44 seconds. BPM will be actually even lower than last week, if I remember correctly. This is only 195. OD 9.1, CS 3.6, AR 9.8. Classic DT stuff. But yeah, as always, it's fan control DT3. It's still relatively low SR for my standards at least, or well, for DT standards. So like, it's just a very standard fan control map.
if you're comfortable on DT3 style maps, playing this should come as second nature to you, I think. Because it really is just a little bit of, like, ulti style DT, and you got some finger control. It's about as generic as a DT3 can get.
Yeah.
Like, we use up all of our interesting DT points on the DT1. And now we just have to pull, like, this.
Wait, we had to pull
Like,
this.
can I just go to bed?
Yeah. No, wait, this song is genuinely so good though. I mean, the section that we just got out of in the high diff is just like a huge slow aim disc fight. But you know, this map is very chill. This is at the end of the day, this is a very, very chill map. Sort of to act as a foil for the disc fight bullshit that we saw in DT1 and the manic dumpster fire. No, I wouldn't say dumpster fire. That'll be not doing justice. I can't be mean to my guy. But the complaints, the riots that will come out of Split X. But anyways, huge shout out to Jolty for the replay, and that will be our DT pool. With that, let's move on to Fremont 1. This time, Fremont 1 is perhaps my favorite. It's probably my second favorite map and one of my favorite customs from 6WC full stop. This is a project that was taken up by Artisan. You might know them, Singaporean mapper for OWC and a very well acclaimed low SR mapper. When we initially reached out to him, you know, he said he wanted to do a Fremont 1 at round of 16, and we were more than happy to have him. And along the way, we picked up Rabin as not just our background artist, but our storyboarder as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nobi by Yagi Kairi.
Alright, everyone. I'm gonna do something else for once. I will actually disable the interface because I think this storyboard absolutely deserves your attention. Raven
Yeah.
so good.
absolutely
I cannot
cooked.
glaze this storyboard enough.
Like,
It's just so good.
yes, they absolutely
Got
cooked
to.
on this. I want to give full credit to Raven. This is really, really, really well done.
This is tiebreaker. No
This is
free mod
tiebreak.
pool. This is the actual tiebreaker.
Really.
Tiebreaker is force mod hidden hard rock.
But yeah, let's talk about a little bit about the map. Fremont 1 this week will be awkward aim, so like normal 1 and Fremont 1 switch positions. 3 minutes 3 minutes and 20 seconds long. Very low BPM, 82. Well, this is then doubled, which is like 164. Yeah. CS4, which might sound initially like, oh, this is hard rock unfriendly, but then you see the hidden players have to play this on area 8.8, and like I know my people hate area 8.8 for some reason. I don't really get it, but hey. More credit to them. OD 7.8 and oh, is it a bit quiet? Okay, hold on.
Let's go.
I hope it's not too loud now.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I do not want to talk about. No, I think the map itself is pretty standard or like pretty self-explanatory. It's awkward aim, but like Raybeen and Ro16 both really cooked on this map in terms of like storyboard and mapping, of course. And yeah, this replay is made with HDHR, by the way, so I know I disabled the interface, but like just as heads up, this is HDHR.
Yeah. I think when it comes to this map, a lot of it is quite standard with these kind of tightly packed linear aim patterns. And then the main thing of note is when you get into the Kiais, you have the patterns with higher spacing that are sort of... They're still linear, and you sort of play them and then play them in reverse. And I think if you're not paying attention, it's very easy to miss on those, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna come in right after what you were saying, Dragon, but I was too mesmerized by the storyboard. At the end of the day, I mean, Artizer definitely cooked on this. I almost just don't want to cast. I kind of just want to enjoy the storyboard.
I mean, we can do it for like for once, I guess. Like, it is really, really good.
Enjoy.
Like,
Let's enjoy.
yeah.
Let's enjoy.
Yeah. I
Oh
love
my,
it.
Canada
So
mentioned.
good. Canada! Canada!
Canada reference.
Canada C9! Yeah! Oh my, yeah, no, this storyboard is just so good. Like, I like, literally today, I was like, I'm playing through the pool to get notes for the showcase, and then Mirage is like, yeah, have you seen the storyboard for Fremont? I'm like, there's a storyboard? And I go and check it out, it's so good. Like, it's just peak. Like, yeah, Raybeen cooked.
Oh, who invited a tiebreaker early, bro? Tiebreaker came early. What the hell?
The sheer, like, whiplash from this to the Fremont 2 is gonna go hard.
Raj, you should have reshuffled it to the free. It was Freeball 2 into tiebreaker. Oh my god, this background. Oh. So good.
But yeah,
Beautiful.
allow me to
Beautiful.
allow me to credit Raven one more time for this storyboard. This is by far my favorite, like, just art we've seen so far, and like also the amount of effort put into this is amazing. I'm really, like, I'm just incredible.
I
Like,
mean, beautiful song,
Yeah.
beautiful art, and beautiful map.
Yeah.
Like all three. Wow. But yeah, I mean, we can't keep glazing this Freeman one forever, even though I would love to. So let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, the whiplash in question that Dragonfire was talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into Fremont 2. It's gonna be Senkyo Ranbu by Sakuzuyo.
oh baby, Fremont.
Turn that to a KTG map, yeah!
Hey, we're having a replay on easy. Thank you, Munamo, for this easy replay. At least it's not easy hidden. But yeah, this week's Fremont 2, I know we just came off like an amazing storyboard, but this week's Fremont 2 will be a rhythmic type of Fremont 2, giving it a pretty good contrast to what we had in Hidden 2 and Hard Rock 2. Now, the most interesting part about this, besides the fact that it's like slightly rhythmic, it's 3 minutes long. 3 minutes 30 seconds actually, it's pretty long. Not flashlightable, probably. 135 BPM. Now, it's CS 4.7 and AR 8.3. It will definitely feel a little bit weird considering your usual anti-mod is like CS5 and AR8, but trust me, this map is pretty rhythmic and pretty rough on both mods regardless, so these extra like softer side on the stats will actually be really welcome.
Yeah, like, I think this is gonna be another map like the No Mod 5, where you're gonna want to practice it to get used to the rhythm switches. Because I think if you're playing with easy, it's basically unreadable, let's be honest. But if you're playing with, like, hidden, it is definitely very hard to recognize the rhythm switches from 1/4 to 1/3 or 1/6. And so, definitely something that's just worth going ahead and, like, practicing.
But yeah, this map is actually, I don't actually know how often it's been used in 6-digit. If you ETX this map in terms of tourney, you will get a lot of results, but if you check the actual like tournaments that use this, you'll realize quickly that, wait, all this is just like 5 digits DTing this, which...
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, like, this is gonna get put like a DT, and it's gonna be just impossible.
Yeah.
Like, yes, please, I do love, 1/6 burst at like what, like 200 and like 2 BPM or something?
Something like that,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, yes, please give me 300 BPM burst. I'm sure I want this.
It'll be interesting to see how this will work out, but in lower digits and obviously not DT, but instead as an anti-mod. Definitely one of the more interesting maps in the pool in terms of stats at least. So we'll see how players will do on this. This is yeah, I think this has a pretty good contrast to HQ and Huddle 2 as mentioned earlier, so we'll see.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. And yeah, as we're getting near to the end of the map, the actual aim here gets a little bit more difficult. So it's not all flow. Don't worry. If you're bad at flow, we got you covered. There's some aim. Good job, guys.
Woo! Not everything is flowing in this in my pools. That's
Mirage,
crazy.
try not to pull flow. Impossible challenge.
Man, flow, my bad guys. Flow is just my favorite skill set. It's the most fun one in OSU, hands down. But yeah, we're getting close to the end of the map now. It is a pretty long one, but as mentioned earlier, we do have a lot of short maps in this pool as well. So like, the pool is not too long. I do not want to see it.
Yeah, I think, like, on average, there are a lot of short maps in the pool. It's just this free mod. The pool just takes the brunt of it by having, like, both maps, like, 3 minutes long. But yeah, that is our free mod to finish with. So, Gammy, take it away!
Oh my goodness, at long last, we are at your long-awaited tiebreaker for this round of 32. This time, I will admit, this song or this tiebreaker was the last one that we initially decided on when CDC was making our tiebreaker draft. And in particular, it was the last one because it was vetoed by Perry.
Wow.
The song, the song that this map draws from is a very unique take on a tiebreaker because it's not just the skill set that's being put to the test. It's your emotions being put to the test. Ladies and gentlemen, in this blackness full of nowhere, past the point of no return, the artist of this song would like to prove that he is still alive. From the lead singer of Glass Beach, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ends of the Earth by Cassiodat, mapped by the one, the only, Shiny Breakson.
This song is called Ends of the Earth. 2, 3, 4. I don't want a lot of recognition, I just want passing glance from the bottom of the sea. And maybe I can read down here. Sounds not like this. Pull me closer. As my eyes begin silver. In this blackness full of nowhere. Past that point of no return. I can't speak to you anymore since the doctors took your voice, but I thought I heard you laughing now. A baby's voice swims all around me. Don't believe what the people say. I can't just change my mind. I know that you're out there crying. I know.
Wait, no.
Bro.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ends of the Earth by Cassiodad. I won't lie, I think this is definitely going to be our craziest, most out there tiebreaker that we've had this 6WC. Quite funny when you take into consideration that round of 16 pool as a pool, or at least everything but tiebreaker, is relatively box standard. I don't think I've seen anything like this round of 16 tiebreaker. And I think when Spawny recommended Shiny Breakson to us, I could not have had a better person take take this such a unique take on a tiebreaker like this. I mean, where else will you see freeform mapping, see crazy, flow aim, crazy pattern? I would talk about mapping here, but I don't think I'm nearly qualified enough to tell you guys about the intricacies that go into a map like this. And while I do think this is definitely going to be the most controversial, if I had to use a word to describe it, of the tiebreaker maps or the tiebreaker of our tiebreaker lineup as a whole, I am still extremely happy that I got to present this Ends of an Earth map. I love this song to bits. I love this map to bits. And I thank everybody who was involved in the making of this tiebreaker production. Mirage Fire, would you like to add anything?
Just a little bit overall, as always, you can leave Mappool feedback in the Mappool feedback channel, blah blah blah, the usual stuff. I think this round of 16 pool is pretty fun in my opinion, but like I'm also the one who pulled it along with my team, obviously, so I'm obviously gonna be biased. But you can let me know what you think about it, and I think we have some really good customs this round. I hope you'll enjoy them as well, and yeah.
Dragon, what about you, man?
I don't really think I have much else to add beyond what's already been said. This pool is just very solid. All of the customs this week, really, really good. Nomi Nomu, Artisan, Shiny Breakson, 3 just incredibly good customs, and I hope to see them played in the matches to come.
Especially tiebreaker. Especially,
True.
I
Especially tiebreaker.
said it go.
I can't glaze the tiebreaker enough. It's so good.
I think this is a tiebreaker where you need to be in the moment playing the map
Yeah,
in order to
you do.
truly experience it. So I do hope some teams manage
Yeah.
to get that horrifying experience that is Ends of the Earth. But I think Dragonfire, you summed it up very, very well. But before we go, I would like to shout out all of the people involved in this pool. You know, Dragonfire, our D1 playtester, all of our replayers, all of our poolers, all of our mappers, and of course background artists. I'm looking at Raby and I'm looking at Perry. I'm looking at Hien as well for that round of 16 tiebreaker. At the end of the day, leave your pool feedback in map pool feedback. You love to see it. And yeah, reschedule your matches early so that we don't have any complaints or any issues moving forward. We hope that the defaults are better this time. We had like a double check on it. Announcement for round of 16 will probably come either tonight or tomorrow. Likely tomorrow because it is 12 a.m. for me and I have a wife and kids at home. So yeah, I would like to get some rest and give you guys a good announcement when the time does come. But any last words from the commentary booth before we close out?
Just one small thing. The Nomad 3 might be uploaded slightly later than usual. But we'll give you an alternative download link for now. The rest should be available as soon as, like, well, as soon as we can. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully Pool will be on sheet soon. Perry's in China, so we don't know how I can't say that on stream. I just can't say that on stream. Feels about it. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope that you guys are excited and pumped for round of 16. We hope for some more for some close matches, some exciting matches to come in the weekend that follows this pool showcase. But well, one can only hope. My name has been Gami Krilla. Joining me in the VC was the lovely Mirage Fire and Dragon. Wait.
Oh my
Anyways, this has been the 6WC Project Hexagon channel, and we will see you in the matches to come. Goodbye.